Welcome to Disabled Expectations. When you're a dad raising a child with a disability, nothing is as you planned. These are the raw, honest stories of dads whose lives changed the day they heard a diagnosis and who continue to show up, adapt, and fight for their families every day. This isn't about lowering expectations, it's about redefining them. I'm Andy, and this is Disabled Expectations. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm excited. I've got my friend Mark with me today. He's the guy that does it all, makes you laugh, makes you feel good. Just one of my favorites, my man Mark. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, Mark is a teacher. What grade do you teach?
High school, 10th, 11th, 12th, basically.
Okay. So history is the topic. What is something that 11 and a 12-year-old should know about history, but every year they prove that they don't know it?
Oh my goodness. So it's U.S. history? There's a lot. There's a lot of little stuff that they don't know. The worst part is they it's not what they don't know. It's the fact, maybe it is what you don't, but it's like the things you bring up, movies, and they have no idea what it is. Or you bring up like music, and they're like, I have no idea what that is. Or the worst is when they're like, I had today, it's like, my dad had you. So it's things like that. That's the worst part. Yeah. And I remembered the dad, so that was a bonus. So
wow.
So yeah.
So how long have you been? I mean, I have to ask, how long you've been teaching?
This is my 29th year.
Dang, that's so awesome.
I started in 1997.
Okay, I'm seriously impressed.
Half of the colleagues that I work with in my department weren't born yet, so that makes me feel pretty old.
It's like so many things I could say, but I'm just
I appreciate that. Yeah,
not gonna do it.
That's good.
Too easy. Well, Disabled Expectations is obviously for dads who have a child or children who have a disability, and you got your ticket into the show because you have children with a disability. And so I'm excited to explore that a little bit with you today. And I feel like you're going to really encourage a lot of dads. I know you might not feel like that, but from what I know of you and my experiences with you, I just know this is going to be great for so many dads. So again, just appreciate you being here. I know your time is valuable. Tell us a little bit about your family.
All right. So I have two sons. So yeah, my wife and I got married in 97 when I started teaching. And then we have two sons who are 24 and 19. Jared, who is 24, will be 25 on Christmas. And then Caleb is 19. He'll be 20 in January. So two kids with a disability that are in their soon to be in their 20s. So
legit birthday on Christmas Day.
Yeah, legit. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the one day we didn't necessarily want, but he was, we should have known right away. He was stubborn. We'll just do it right there. We'll have a Christmas baby. So yeah.
Has that been easier or harder for you guys than you thought it would be?
It's been easier now. It was harder when he was younger.
Okay.
Part of that being, you just want, you're just aware of the fact that it's a Christmas baby. So you don't want it to be like just one day, but at the same time, it's like it's your birthday and it's Christmas. So it's all together. Now that he's older, truthfully, it's easier, but it's sad because he doesn't realize either day. So it's just, it's easier because we don't have that expectation of having to do something incredibly big or separate the 2 days. We'll still do like a birthday cake for him when we get together and stuff along those lines, but it's become easier over time.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you and Tina love to do for fun? Like if you had a 24 hours and you could do like two things together, what would be your go-to?
I would probably say go kayaking would be
Oh,
one.
okay.
I know and that's something we'd like to get outdoors. So I would say something outdoors like kayaking. I would even say probably like if we had the time going for a hike, just getting outside.
Yeah.
Because with everything that goes on, we're here all the time. We're here all the
Hmm.
time. So just being outside and enjoying the fresh air and the environment and company and everything, that would be it. I would put that as the biggest things.
I
But
like that.
getting out,
Totally relate to that.
yeah.
Um, so tell us, let's just jump off the high
Yeah.
dive here and tell us with Jared,
Hmm.
what was his childhood like, and what kind of led up to your um, thinking there might be something going on.
Okay, so when he was younger, I guess it's part of the disease that they have too. So it's really not for us. Luckily, it wasn't as noticeable when he was young.
Okay.
It's degenerative. So when he
Mm.
was born, it wasn't really there. It was there, but it wasn't showing. And then over time, it just grows. So his childhood was we thought it was really going fairly normal. He was difficult. He wasn't. We were first time parents. We didn't know what difficult really meant. We were
Yeah.
just we were just here you go. Here's a kid. Go home. And so then that was a part of it. And then over time, we got to like kindergarten, and we got hit with well, it looks like your kid has might be cognitively impaired. And then that was just like a one day, like boom.
Just
We
out
need
of
to.
nowhere.
I don't know. We have a meeting. Here you go. And so he was
Mm.
probably 5 when it happened. And then again, he needed hearing aids. So we knew that there was a hearing loss. So we thought, well, he's probably not doing well because of that. So we get the hearing aids and it doesn't fix anything. And so long and short of it, um, we just kept seeing little stuff that changed and started to see him get more agitated, easy. Trying to think of what
Mm.
else was either. I mean, again, he's 24, 25, so trying to think back to exactly what it looked like. But,
Yeah.
we just noticed over time little things going on here and there, right? Um, he was like, again, he was an athlete, man. He was good. I thought I was going to be
Yeah.
like, thought I was going to be sitting on the sidelines at pro games, but it just
Yes.
then it's kind of slowed down, and so that was the big thing. And it took a while to find
Mm.
out to go from that kindergarten time when here's something that could be going wrong to hey, we think we know what it is. It took us 5 years to find out what it was.
So from kindergarten,
Hmm.
there's like you had a teacher say, okay, there's something
Hmm.
going on. You're not 100% sure, and then 5 years later,
Right. So
wow.
in at MIT, so he was in a gen ed classroom, and then he was in gen ed kindergarten first grade, and I hope I get this right. Second grade, he went to a CI classroom. Excuse me. And so again, we didn't really know what was the diagnosis. We knew there was something. We
Yeah.
never really knew the diagnosis, and it just happened to come out to put us in the right direction at his 10-year checkup. The doctor found something and was like, "Hey, let's
Wow.
explore this avenue here." And
Okay.
so that was pretty big, big day.
Man. So at 10 years old, you what happened after this doctor said let's explore this? I mean, when was it you found out, he had Sanfilippo?
Okay, so when he was again, the doctor annual checkup was probably I would say probably October, November,
Okay.
and then he was laying on his back, and the doctor felt an enlarged liver. So she sent us
Oh.
to U of M to a specialist to get a liver biopsy, And then that was in January. And then we got a phone call in March. So it was probably a good 3 months. I feel like, and again, I feel terrible because I don't remember exactly. Because a little bit
Yeah.
of it's that shock aspect too of like,
Oh, for
okay,
sure.
um, I want to say that when we may have found out before the doctor actually called, like the
Okay.
nurse may have said, "Hey, the doctor needs to talk to you in a week. Oh, by the way, just so you know, like not
Right.
like we were supposed to." So we did a little bit of, it's back in 2011, so we did a little bit of that like Google research. So we knew what we were coming into a little bit, not completely.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near what we know now, but like when we went to see the doctor and met with him and got the phone call from him, and he was like, "Yeah, this is what it is." And then you kind of left on your own, right? I mean, it's like there's a couple
Yeah.
people you can call. There's a guy in North Carolina. There's a guy in Minnesota. Hey, good luck. If you need anything, let us know. So, yeah.
So what is the official diagnosis?
So it's called mucopolysaccharidosis type 3. Sorry, I got it. Type 3A. So it's commonly known as Sanfilippo syndrome.
Okay.
But with Sanfilippo syndrome, there's like A, B, MPS III, A, B, C, and D, and that yeah, it's all clumped together.
Wow.
And that yeah, so they're MPS III A. So yeah,
And at that time, what was known about this? I mean, where did they leave you guys? Like, did you have any information? Did they say this is what you can expect? This is, these are
they
some things.
they gave us some ideas of what to expect. Um, but the nice thing and I don't know how to explain it other than the nice thing, the blessing that we have. There are two different tracks that this can go on. It
Okay.
can go quick and it can go slow.
Okay.
So as soon as let me kind of preface it too. So when we found out, we went to a couple of like conferences. We
Hmm.
went to I think it was in St. Louis. So we went down to St. Louis. We met some parents of other kids who were just diagnosed that year. We met some other parents whose kids had Sanfilippo, and they weren't like our kids. I
Mm.
mean, they were younger. They were more severe. Easiest way to put it. I mean,
Yeah.
Jared at the time was 11 and he was playing hockey in the, yeah, I mean, he was doing all kinds of stuff. He was still playing like a little bit of T-ball, things along those lines. I think we still had him in ASO. I mean, they were kind enough to let us do that. So, I mean, things like that. So
Yeah.
he was way different. Um, so yeah, that was kind of the biggest piece is we had the ability to see what was coming,
Hmm.
but we also had the luxury of being like, it's not here right now. And so we were able to, we have, we really, I mean, we have an amazing support group around here. My family,
Yeah.
Tina's family,
I love that.
our, our church, the church that I grew up in, the church that we go to now, um, we really wanted to jump on this. And like every parent, when they get their kids with a diagnosis, like we're going to do everything we can right now, and we're going to be the ones that we're going to beat this. And
Yeah.
so we got in touch with Minnesota and we went over there. And truthfully, once we got there is when we got a lot more answers. And that would have been in June of 2011. And so that was
Okay.
when we really started to get the idea, okay, here's what's happening. But even then, the doctor that we saw was pretty impressed with how well Jared was doing. Like, you know, things jumped to mind. Like Jared, we were in the middle of a meeting with a doctor, and Jared like kept hitting me, and I'm like, oh, sorry, he's got to go use the bathroom. So we took him off to use the bathroom. He came back, and the doctor's like, he's toilet trained. And I'm like, yeah, why not? Yeah, of course he's toilet trained. He's 11. Weren't you at 11? So, little things like that were really impress them and little stuff like that. So we had the we know what's going to happen, but again, like I said, we had the luxury of
Yeah.
not being, we were hit with the diagnosis, but we weren't hit with the full force that some other people were hit with at the same time.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So can you help us
Mhm.
for the people that don't have really any information about Sanfilippo? You said there's like the quick track and the slow track.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? What does that mean exactly?
Okay. So to give you, so Sanfilippo is, oh, it's a lysosomal storage disorder. So both of my sons lack a enzyme to break down a specific molecular structure in the cells. Easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is it's like hoarders. Their cell just continually, like, they can't get rid of stuff. And so they get contaminated. MPS III, like what they have, is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very much concentrates on the central nervous system. So to be honest with you, it's not the night, but the tracks are simple. The end result is the same every time, right?
Yeah.
It's fatal. And quick
Wow.
tracks, quick tracks, you're looking at 8, 9 years old. Slower tracks, which are not as often, you can see kids up into, I mean, we've heard of kids in their 30s, not kids anymore, but people in their
Yeah.
30s.
Wow.
I would say the average expectancy for kids that were along the path that mine had, or I think what Tina told me at one point was like 15 years plus or minus 3. And so I have a
Right.
kid, I have a 19-year-old and a 24-year-old, so we're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, that's heavy, Mark. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's not obviously like what a parent
No, no.
dreams of when they have
Uh-uh.
a child or two. But can you remember going back to that diagnosis and getting some of the details um of the disease and what it means? Do you remember your like where you were at mentally with all that, and how did you handle that?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think my handling of it, I'm gonna open my eyes. I want to say like Tina and I handled it a little different. Like the mom versus the dad. Like, I'm embarrassed to say this. It's 15 years ago or so now, but like I was like, oh, we'll fix it. It'll be fine. And
Right.
that was my verbal. My insides are like, okay, how are we gonna survive this? Right?
Yeah.
How are we gonna do this? And to be truthful, like it's that the little bit of that shock factor of, you're telling me my kid's got a terminal disease that we've never even heard of before,
Right.
and um and it's been around for a while and nobody's fixed it. And then at these conferences you go to, they always talked about, well, we're working on these treatments and we're working on these things and cures and all this stuff, which when you think about it, I mean, from my aspect back then, it should be cured. It should be easy. He's lacking an enzyme. Let's fix this. Let's just inject him with a ton of enzyme and call it
Yeah.
good, right?
Go get
And
the enzyme.
obviously, yeah, I'm not the first one to think of this, but it. So I always like looked at it as, how can this change? How can we fix this? How can we make it? And I think Tina was, doing a lot to do the same stuff, but I think she was more present
Yeah.
in the situation and more realistic in the situation.
Okay.
And then it just took me a while. It took me a little while to be like, okay, this is where we are. Um, it's not going to change. And it's like it's over time. When you hear all this stuff in the beginning about, we're working on this, this, and this, and then none of it comes to fruition, you're like, okay, so just kind of came out, and it was just like I remember finally coming to reality of like, okay, I don't know how long we got left, so
Mm-hmm.
it goes to that quality. Like, what are we going to do that's going to make it the best it can be for as long as
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And I feel like the little that I've known you, I feel like you guys are crushing that. You are so good at that quality aspect. So
We try.
I love it. I love to be able to witness that. So Jared's in, he's over 11 years old.
Mhm.
And then statistically, as you're thinking maybe of having another child, did you know the statistics for?
No, because Caleb, at the time that Jared was diagnosed, Caleb was 5. So we never.
Oh,
So there's not. I mean, there's only a 5-year gap between them. So
oh, wow.
there's no real like, hey, what about this? No, I mean, um,
Okay.
yeah, and again, there was no. When we'll get to it eventually, but with Caleb, it was just a different story.
Yeah.
Just a different story.
So that's where I wanted to transition now,
Okay.
is to Caleb's childhood.
Okay.
And how was that, and how did it compare to Jared's? And were you like immediately like, this is going to be different, this is going to be
It
about the same?
it was so we've often thought like we know Jared has Sanfilippo. We know it. I mean, obviously, we did the test. It's there. We know everything's there. But we also know or believe, I guess would be a better way to put it, that he has something else.
Oh,
That
okay.
there's some other underlying thing, whether it's I don't know, just some other sort of. I don't think it's like an autism or anything like that, but it's there's something else there.
Yeah.
Um, Caleb is completely different.
Hmm.
Caleb's completely different. Jared had this ability. He learned things quick. Right? He really did. Like we would go to the. Now again, I'm still staying with Jared for a second, but we would go to the
Yeah.
grocery store, and my wife would be like, "Hey, where's the macaroni and cheese? It's in aisle 5." I mean, he knew where everything was. It's in aisle 5. Where's the cereal? Aisle 7. Where's this?
Yes.
Whatever. And he just knew it. He knew it. We would go to Griffin's games, and he could follow everything, or Red Wings games, and he would follow everything, and there'd be a goal, and he'd be like, "Oh," and he'd call out the guy who scored before they came over to not. He just followed and knew and everything.
Wow.
But he was busy. He was super busy, always busy. Caleb was just relaxed. He was Caleb, like, to be honest with you, when we were in, and this is sad, but when we were in Minnesota for the first time with Jared in June of 2011, we were told to get Caleb tested because it's a genetic disorder.
Okay.
So we were told to get Caleb tested back in March. So when Jared got diagnosed, we just said, get Caleb tested so we can rule it out. So we're like, yeah, of course we're going to rule it out. Caleb was like reading books, and Jared wouldn't used to too, but Caleb was just smart as a whip. I mean, he was doing math, and he was like, I thought, this kid's on it. So when we were in Minnesota, again, only reason we had him tested is so we could say that he didn't have it. And when we were in Minnesota, we got done with one of our things with Jared, and it was just the three of us. Caleb was home with family.
Yeah.
And Tina called to check on. Okay, this is how long ago it was. We had to call our answering machine. And
answering machine.
Right, exactly. Had put in their special code, and then she got a call that the doctor said give her a call, and she's like, well, I'm going to find out right now because we're in Minnesota. We know he doesn't have it, so let's be able. And she called, and it was June 28th, 2011, and she got a phone call, and it's like, hey, just so you know, your other son has it too. And we're like, no way, completely different. And
Wow.
and they act completely different still.
Yeah,
which is weird
sure.
because they have the same genetic disorder. They have the same like basically the same genetic makeup, right? DNA, and the disease is completely different in both kids.
Man.
Completely different.
So, so what are the major differences for you with your two boys?
Jared is more active. Jared is more active.
Okay.
He's also more aggressive.
Okay.
So when there's situations when there's stuff going on, I would say Jared's more sound sensitive. He's more environmentally sensitive.
Hmm.
So like it used to be if something was going on and like again like had a disciplined Caleb, which not all, but just a hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
Or even like we used to go to the store or we used to go out to eat, right? When things were different. And a baby would cry. It would get Jared early on. He would like at the store, it's the funniest thing. He would go over and try and console the baby. Like he's gonna do some magic. And
Right.
then over time it started to make him upset.
Okay.
So just completely so he's much more of the quick to fly off the handle, quick to get upset,
Yeah.
um, quick to get physical.
Hmm.
Um, Caleb
Wow.
is more of the, at this stage, especially now, Caleb is more of the, I'm just going to sit here. It's good. I'm going to relax. I'm going to watch this or I'm going to, and Caleb gets excited too, just at different stuff. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, and again, I think it kind of goes to there might be something else with Jared,
Right.
but then the other piece too is that with Sanfilippo, with the stuff that they have, physical aggression is part of it. So
Okay.
so maybe maybe it's just this fact that we're seeing it in Jared now and it's going to be in Caleb later, who knows, but
Hmm.
they've definitely had a different track to get to where they are right now.
Yeah. Hearing you say some of that about Jared is hard to believe for me because
Yeah.
I've only seen like I feel like their best, you
Yeah,
know.
they
So
and that's one thing that's crazy too, like whenever we go to functions, we ever do stuff, I'm always like so nervous that something's going to go wrong, and they're always great. They both always do great. Now, mom must prep them fairly well before we go. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh man, no, your boys are incredible. Your wife posted a video. Um, I don't know. I mean, you had to have seen it, but it was like the worship night that we did,
Mhm.
and it's just like on your boys, and Caleb's just like laughing, making his noises like he
Yeah,
always does, and
yeah,
Jared's just like like
yeah.
whatever. But I
Just
just love
whatever. Isn't that crazy? Like Jared was like, just whatever. You make sounds, make your noises. Yeah, but
it was just like such a cool video.
yeah,
Walk
and those
walk us
events are great
through
for us to go to.
Yeah, walk us through what does a typical day look like for the Mulder crew? Like
Yeah.
what like start at
All
like
right.
what
So
time
now
is
we're at school. So now we're
what's
at
that?
school, right? So
Okay.
we're at school. So I would say it's about 8. Yeah. I would say Jared will get up lately, probably between 4 and 5 in the morning.
AM?
AM. Yeah, sadly AM. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
he Today he slept till 6, so that was a bonus. But like usually it's between 4 and 5. At some point in the night, he'll get out of his bed, come into our bed, and then we have to try and get him back to sleep. So hopefully, if he goes back to sleep, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then we get up. One of us will go out in the living room and hang out with Jared on the couch. So Jared has a room. We'll put on something like either a movie that he likes, or
Mhm.
sometimes we'll put on uh, YouTube like an aquarium scene with like calming music,
Okay.
and that's yeah, doesn't really necessarily work, but at least it sounds nice. And then um, we'll shut the doors, and so that the other one of us, either Tina or myself, can go back and try and get a little more sleep, right? And then
Man.
about 6 o'clock, if it's this weekday, we'll get up and we'll start the routine. I'll make school lunches. Jared will get his meds. We'll run him through the shower, which is never good. And then we'll
Oh,
get
okay.
heat up. He just doesn't like it. He just
Yeah.
doesn't like it. Get Caleb up about 6:30, get them ready to go off to the bus, try and get them on the bus about 7:15. And then
Okay.
I try and sneak off to school and try and get there before we start at 7:50. Which is good. It's close enough. And then luckily they're at school, which they both adore. They both, I mean,
Oh, cool.
their school that they go to has been amazing. I
I
mean,
love
it
that.
truly has. It truly has. Like when Jared was like kind of funneled that way between fifth and sixth grade, we were very nervous, super nervous.
Yeah.
And they have been nothing but a godsend. They are amazing out there. And then when Caleb went like after his sophomore year of high school, same thing, just amazing people. So they'll go there till probably about 4:20, 4:30.
Okay.
And then they'll come home, snack, do whatever we need to do for them, whatever has got to be done, change pull-ups, cleanups, change their clothes, whatever. And then about 6:30, we kind of slow things down a little bit. 7 o'clock, they get nighttime meds. Jared does vitamins, meds. About 8 o'clock, we'll try and get Caleb to go to bed. One of us will sit with Caleb. And then we've been trying to push Jared back a little bit to try and move that 4 to 5 to maybe 5 to 6.
Yeah.
So we can keep him up a little bit. So I think Tina's taking care of that tonight. And so then get him to bed, and we'll usually be out in the living room about 9 o'clock.
Right.
And then, it's bedtime. And because Jared comes into our bed, it's just easier to like one of us sleeps out on the couch, one of us sleeps in our bed, and then when he comes in, we take over, and then when he goes to the couch, the other one takes over, and it's like kind of like even when we're sleeping, we're thinking, how are we going to make this work with who's got him when, who's doing this? Let me just kind of rotate who does what where. So yeah, it's a
Man.
full day.
Yeah, you make it. It's funny that I mean, yeah, the way you describe it, it's like, yeah, it's just what we do. But like,
But it's what we do. I mean, what else are you going to do, right?
I know it's wild that like, it's typical for dads like us. Like we just like, yeah, I mean, this is our schedule. We have to do it. If we don't do it, these things will happen and it'll be bad.
Right.
And so, you learn to do what you have to do. But like, I think a lot of people just can't comprehend, like, it's not like you're like, you know what, I'm not in the mood tonight, or I don't really want to get up this morning. Like you don't have that choice.
No, I don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning and then have to deal with my son being upset or
Right.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could make those decisions. Like, yeah, you know what? You're good. Take care of yourself. Here's a protein bar. Have fun. But you can't do that. You can't.
Oh man. So hearing you say that, so it like forces me to ask a couple of questions.
Go ahead. You're all good.
So being the stud that you are, how do you take care of yourself so that you can do what you do and be, the dad, be the husband that your family needs?
It's tough right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. Truthfully, the hardest part for me has been, I think, taking care of myself. Because I think for me, it's the other three that I have to try and take care of first.
Right.
And so I just over the last probably 10 years have just said, you know what, I'll just push myself to the back. And if I get a little bit of time and a little energy, I'll do it. But then again, so taking care of myself has always been the hardest part of this for me, one of the hardest parts. It's one of
Yeah.
those things that I'm truly like right now, and just in the last couple of weeks, have made a conscious effort to try to redo. Um,
What does that look like for you?
Trying to eat better, stay
Okay.
healthy. It's as simple right now. It's as simple as like I try and walk more when I'm at school.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
try to do little things like that. But it doesn't help. I tore my meniscus 2 weeks ago, so now it's that back over again. But
Jeez.
little stuff. And then setting goals. Right for me right now, I think um, I'm setting for myself little goals because I know I have a big goal of what I want for myself. But if I set a big goal and that's it, I'm never going to achieve it
Yeah.
because it's too big.
Okay.
So setting little
Mm.
goals has been my big thing. I want to get back on my bike. I have a bike trainer downstairs. I want to get back on that a little more.
Yeah.
I want to. I can't run just because of my knees are shot, but I
Mhm.
want to do. I want to do aqua bikes. I want to do the swimming and biking part of a triathlons again. I did those for
Oh, yeah.
so just little stuff like that. That's the big thing. For taking care of myself, taking care of the family. That's tough too because when you don't get a whole lot of rest and you don't get a whole lot of sleep, you don't get a whole lot of break, you have a tendency to have some poor judgment on occasion, right? And so I think,
It's a nice way to say it.
and I think as things have gone, I think the people you lash out at the most, or the people you take the granted the most, or the people that you take it out on the most, are the people that you care about the most. And so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it has to be trying very hard and trying to be cognizant of making more of an effort to just not do that, is the easiest way to put it.
Right.
Um, I mean, with any parent, with any family that has, difficulties, or in any family, I'm sure, but families with kids with disabilities, I think, like I said before, taking care of myself is a difficult part, but I also think trying to find the time and the energy to take care of the marriage is tough for both.
Right.
It truly is, because you're both trying to do everything you can for kids that can't do anything for themselves, and so
Mm.
you're drained. You're
Yeah,
drained,
man.
and so that's, to me, that's hopefully answers your question a little bit.
That answers my first question,
Oh, okay.
but it leads right into my second question.
I got set up. All right.
No, it was actually kind of perfect. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. um, so yeah, I'm just curious. You and Tina, to me, are a dream team, and I'm not just saying that to try and
Mm,
I really do believe that you guys seem like you are. It seems like you communicate well. You're hitting on all cylinders when I see you.
mhm.
So what is it that you guys do for your marriage? Because man, that's so crucial
Yeah.
in what you guys are doing.
I think I think a lot of times that you see us, we're on the same page because it's the kids. We're like on the kids page, right?
Right.
I think I think, again, I'm going to say this, with any marriage or with any relationship, there's the goods and the bads, right? I mean,
Oh, for sure.
that happens, right? I mean, marriages work, relationships are work, and I think there are times when we're hitting on all cylinders. We're like, hey, we got this, we got this, we got this. But again, when times get tough, it gets a little harder.
Mhm.
Um, we
Absolutely.
have been able to find more time, and I think that's the biggest thing. Even if we have a caregiver that's able to come in
Yeah.
and just saying, you know what, we're going to take this time and we're just going to go. We're going to go out for coffee. We're going to go to the bookstore, even if we're just out
Yeah.
being together. Doing some of those things that we did when we were younger.
Mhm.
Um, Dating. Go, like I said, go to the bookstore, go for a walk, go for a hike. I think those are the good times.
Yeah.
When we run into difficulties are the times where it's that routine that we talked about of we're getting up at 4, we're getting up at 5, we're doing the day, and then the weekends are the same thing, but then they don't go to school. When we get in that long, drawn out times of those, and again, of course, we run into situations where it's like we're not communicating well.
Yeah.
We're both frustrated because you know what I got up and I hypothetical, right? But I had the first shift from 5 till 7, and Jared was walking around and talking, and Tina's out, back in the bedroom, and she's trying to sleep, and she can't sleep because it's so loud. And then she comes in and takes the second shift, and I go back there and I can't sleep, and we're both, we're both. It's like just want to
Yeah.
make it as easy and the best you can. And again, as a husband, as a dad, you want to kind of fix it.
Right.
And to me, the best times we have are where it's like, I'm not fixing this, but let's endure this and let's make it the best it can be together. And we, like I said, we're having the ability to do more of that lately. Um, but we had such a long time where we didn't get out a lot.
Right.
We didn't have a set date that we could go on.
Yeah.
That a lot of it's right now is like it's getting back to where we want to be. Not that
Mhm.
but it's just like consistency. I guess is that the best way to put it with
Yeah.
marriage. So
Man. Yeah, marriage is, I mean, on a good day, you gotta frickin' work at it. I
yeah,
mean, I don't know how else to say it, but it's like
it's work.
so worth it though.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's work, but it's the best job I've had.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you guys are the way you are. I mean, when you're out in public, you just know and you can feel like you guys are in love. You love your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you're like inviting people over to your house all the time. You're like planning
We do
events and
stuff.
fundraisers, which we're gonna get to in a minute. But I mean, it's not like you're like, hey, by the way, I got up at 4, so don't talk to me after 6 o'clock. You're like, no, you know what we should do? We should plan
Something for
something.
9, 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
and again, I
Well,
think, yeah. So I was
no,
just saying too. Part of it too is like getting out with the kids. We went to an event with the kids this weekend that we
mhm.
haven't done in years. We took them to a football game, high school football game,
Oh, okay.
and it was awesome. I think
Yeah,
getting the kids out, and when we see you, we're out with the kids, and I think we're on the same page with those kids, with our boys.
yeah,
We're on the same page, and so
right. Was this
I
a
hope
playoff football game you went to?
it was, yes.
How did that go?
The team we were rooting for came in second,
Ah, man. You
but
guys had a good team though.
yeah, they did. It was fun. It was enjoyable.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
good. It's
awesome.
good. So
So you made the comment, you can't fix it, right? Like you can't, like as a dad and a husband, you can't do everything. You can't fix
mhm.
everything. And that like leads me to think like there's gotta be there's gotta be something besides Mark and Tina that you guys lean on. And you had said your church was a big player when you guys had the kids and they were younger,
Mhm.
and then you have the church now. Can you speak a little bit on your faith and how that has helped or
Oh
impacted
man,
your guys' journey with the boys?
it has. Okay, early on, right away, I would say for the first little bit, and I don't know how to describe it. Maybe like right off the bat, I feel
Yeah,
like it was difficult to be like, what's going on here, right? I
right.
mean, I've had, I've done, I feel like I've been fairly decent guy. You know what I mean? You get that like almost like that pity kind of. I've been good. Why is this on me? And then, so it took a little bit for me to get back. And I didn't run away. I wasn't gone. It was just like, okay, I have to accept what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I feel like faith has been the only thing that's really not only thing. Faith has been one of the big things that's kept us going.
Wow.
Right? I think um, for me, and I can't speak really truthfully for Tina on this, but I feel like having that first initial thing of why is this happening to me
Yeah.
has
Great question.
has changed more into a, okay, this is happening to me for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, this may sound, I don't know how it sounds. It's not my right to know what that reason is. It's not. I mean, God doesn't have to tell me why He's doing it. But
Right.
my job is to take this situation and make it the best I can make it, and hopefully in some way, somehow, some shape, some form, use this for His glory.
Mm.
And that's tough at times, especially at 4 in the morning. But
Yeah.
um, it's that has become,
Jeez.
and I'm not going to lie, that has been more of a focus for me and a thought process and a thinking for myself over the last probably 6 to 8 months.
I
And just
like that though. I mean, that's of utmost importance, right?
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it came down to, um, and this goes beyond that, but like a couple years ago, I say a couple, 6 years ago, my dad passed away, and we had we had the service and everything, and one of the things in the service was the Heidelberg Catechism,
Oh yeah. Okay.
question answer one. It was like that hit me like, hey, it's not, my goal is to live the best life I can. And I'm paraphrasing and messing it up now that I'm on the spot, but like, you know, I'm not my own, that I was bought with a price, and my whole purpose is to glorify God. And I have to do that with my kids. And it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
but I do feel like it's becoming, I don't want to say easier. It's becoming more of a routine, but not in a bad routine, but like it's like this is just how we want to be. So
Yeah. No, I love that. Our verse for Briella is, his grace is sufficient in our weakness. And of course I butchered it a little bit. But
yeah,
but you get the idea. And I think that's like what a great platform you have. I mean, to show people God's glory in your
mm,
life. I mean, it's awesome. I think it's a lot harder if you didn't have any problems and everything's great and
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but man, to do what you guys are doing and how you do it is definitely pointing people to Jesus. And I appreciate that. I know you're not perfect, and I'm not trying to make you
No,
out to be this,
right,
you know,
right.
but you guys are doing an awesome job. I hope you know that.
I feel like that's I kind of when you talk about that, it's becoming routine. But what we do, and by the way, thank you for the compliments. But what we do is what we do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and that's just who Tina and I are. And so hopefully, like I said, it's not it's just being that's helping
Yeah.
us. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. What's something over the years that you've become an expert on that you never thought you'd be an expert on?
Oh, there are way too many things that I could say, and I better not say.
Yeah. Can you give us one appropriate one?
Yeah, well, appropriate one. I would say I have become an expert on. Oh, not that. No. I think reading my kids. I mean, truthfully, like reading situations. I think
Yeah.
you can read when our sons are going to get mad,
Oh,
or
okay.
when Jared's going to have this, or when that's going to happen. And I think I've also become an expert, not nearly as much of an expert as Tina has, but like of figuring out how to divert, how to change that behavior and move that behavior in a different direction. And I think I've also become a little better at like just like Not great, trust me, not great at all. But like being thicker skinned and
Okay.
not letting like when I was younger, when Jared was younger, and his outbursts, I took personal. I've become better. I've become an expert at,
Hmm.
to an extent, just letting it wash over. Not every
When you say personal, you say like you would say like, oh, this is my fault. I
time. To that, to some extent, but also like he gets mad and he doesn't know what to do, and so he hits.
gotcha.
And he gets mad at that aspect. And so for me, it was like, oh, he's hitting me. No, he's hitting because he doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
It's
I
not
see.
that it's not like he's coming after me because I'm me. He's coming after me because I'm here.
Yeah.
And that took a little bit. I would say that would be some stuff. Also, become an expert on. I've been expert on like getting kids clothes on who don't want to get their clothes on.
Hey, that's a gift.
I mean, putting kids, yeah, putting like buckling a kid into a stroller. I've become pretty quick at that too. Those foot ties, I can get those going quick. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things
yeah, yeah.
that you
Yep.
weren't planning on being an expert in, but here you
Things
are.
that you never thought you'd be doing when you're. I'm not gonna say how old I am. When your
Yeah,
kids are
when
19
you're
and 20.
when you're
When
in
you're
your
older.
30s.
Yeah, when you're upper 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got one more question, and then I
Okay.
want to talk a little bit more. I want to talk about something real quick before we end.
Okay.
But I want you to think about, and I'm not trying to get you down, but I want you to think about like your worst day.
Okay.
Like everything that can go wrong with the boys goes wrong. You and Tina are off that day, and it's just, for lack of a better term, it's bad.
Mhm.
What is it on that day that helps you get through to the next day or the next hour? And I'm hoping that this, as much as everything else has, can help, that dad that's really
Mhm.
struggling right now, that's just in it and feels stuck and alone.
So we'll call that day Saturday.
Okay.
I feel like when things are bad, just bad, what gets me through? One thing that I've become better at, I
Hmm.
would think, is realizing that day. Realizing that everything is it's not right, and that Tina and I aren't seeing eye to eye, and that things aren't going well, and Jared's mad, and Caleb's loud, and
Yeah.
we're out of sleep, and we're missing stuff. I've become better at seeing that day and realizing I'm in the middle of that day.
Okay.
And I would say one thing
Mm.
that gets me from to get through that is realizing that we just stopping and addressing it has helped. Like, hey, you
All
know
right.
what? This is bad. You know, um,
Yeah.
that would be one thing from day to day, hour to hour. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's yard work. Get
Oh,
out,
okay.
get out and do something. Get myself a little physical. Get rid of like some of my energies. Do some
Yeah.
stuff outside. But the
I
other
like
thing
that.
too is
Practical.
the other yeah work. The other
Hmm.
thing too is even when it's bad, even when the times like even when Jared's not having it and he's upset and he's grumpy or whatever, and I still like being around him
Yeah.
gets me through that
Mm.
because you can see for him, and again, this is from our personal, like from our experiences, his moods and his days like that aren't necessarily days like that, they're hours. So he's not going to stay like that necessarily all
Okay.
day. And seeing him come down and that helps. And being around him helps. And being
Yeah.
around Caleb helps. Um, and I'm not going to lie, I think one of the other things that helps us too is Tina and I. and this is, yeah, I probably should have thought of this one earlier too. If it's bad, Jared loves to be in the car
Oh,
for not long term, but short term. And so what we'll do is we'll find something that's close by and we'll put the kids in the car. We'll go for a walk. And like I said, like being
yeah.
outside,
It's a game
um,
changer.
they love it. We have a small county park 2-3 miles from here with probably one of the most disgusting ponds I've ever seen. But
Oh, beautiful.
yes, it's glorious, and yeah, love it. But we'll take we keep we keep old like bread and hot dog buns in our car, and we'll go there and we'll walk out. It's got this little like deck that kind of goes over this pond, which is
Yeah.
glorious, and we'll like crinkle it up and throw it in, and we'll feed the fish. And
I love it.
to see them looking down and feeding the fish, and to see us just getting out and doing something, being out together, that gets me going. Given like that, I truly, it sounds like one of the, I don't want to say weirdest, but we're gonna go feed.
Well, I mean, like how much bread do you have in your car right now?
Like only like 3-4 loaves. But we have, we'll go feed these little bluegills, and they just come up, and it's a riot.
That's cool.
And the kids like it, and they're walking around and they're outside, and that helps. Like just sometimes that's just that changing the scenery helps.
No, it's so good. Because you get stuck in those moments and you're like, nothing's going to work. What are we doing? And you just stay there. And it's like, it's not.
Leaving. I guess one of the big things for me is we got to get out of here.
Right.
If the problem is being in this house, then we got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Even if it's a small car ride, even if it's
I like it.
Going to the park. Well, we'll take them to their school and go play basketball in their school, like playground. So
what last question.
That's so good, man.
What are some of your favorite things to do with the boys? And I know you mentioned what you just did, but like if like I asked you with Tina, like if you just had like you could do anything with the boys and everything was going to go perfect, what would you like? What would be something that would just be like, this is my favorite?
Anything. And if it's going to go perfect, I can pick this. I would take them and do some of the things that we used to do before it got to the situation it's now.
Okay.
So I would say probably the easiest one. I would take them to a Griffins game, or or a Whitecaps game, where we used to go, and we used to be awesome.
Yeah.
And we tried taking Jared 2 years ago, and he was so excited and so overwhelmed it just didn't work. So if I knew that it was going to be perfect and he was going to be happy and not manic and not whatever, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would go to a Red Wings game. If I knew it was gonna be good, I'd go to a Red Wings game.
All right.
Take him to Detroit and do that, because
that's a little bit more than a short car ride, though.
That's true. But again, you told me it was going to be perfect. So
yeah, exactly. I love that.
Man, that's I would do that. I would get them out, and I would get them back to where they liked. Both kids loved it. Both kids used to love going to those things. So that would be cool. That would be my gig. That'd be my deal.
Oh man. Well, tell us a little bit about I know you guys do some movies, you do some fundraisers. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody a little bit about, is it a foundation that you have for Sanfilippo? Can you inform us on that and how people can give?
Yeah. So a while back, again, right when Jared got diagnosed, before Caleb was diagnosed, it was just Jared. That's when I mentioned we had the support from our church, church that I grew up in, right? So we did some fundraisers. We did like the old pancake breakfasts. It was awesome. Yeah. And we raised some funds for Tina and I to take the boys to Minnesota there was the specialist that was there.
Okay.
And then so we did that for a couple years maybe. just, we're going to do a fundraiser, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it was just, okay, a little bit here and there. And then what we realized, we went to, I think the last fundraiser we did, we went to Boston for a conference. Just for fun. We went to the National MPS conference in Boston. And while we were there, we really found out that a lot of people don't have, like, we just took for granted our support network was what everybody had. I mean, let's be real. I mean, we're nothing super special, so I'd assume everybody else is like we are. And so when we were there, we were like, there's a lot of people who can't do this. So we came home, we talked about it, we prayed about it. We were like, all right, it's a lot of money to start a nonprofit organization, or at least get it going from whatever. Yeah. My wife is brilliant. She did all the work. I'm not going to lie. I just heard it was a lot of money. I have no idea how much. And so we put it out there in a Christmas newsletter, because we said, like, to anybody who donated, we would send out at the end of the year, here's how the boys are doing. And it was mostly church family and friends and stuff.
Right.
And we got a check back from literally one of my dad's friends that we barely knew. And it said, here, you need to start your nonprofit. And it was like, there's the check. It's like, okay. So we generated, Tina went through all the legwork and did everything. We started a nonprofit called the Sanfilippo Hope Initiative.
Okay.
Or I think we call it, it used to just be Team Jared, Team Caleb. And so we do fundraisers we do a cornhole tournament in May, right around May 15th, which is National MPS III Awareness Day, or MPS Awareness Day. And then
I think you have like the largest amount of cornhole boards in one zip code. It's crazy.
The crazy thing is I think I made all of those. And then, so we do that, and we do that in May. We do a chili cook-off in the fall to raise money. And then in the summer, for the longest time, we really didn't go out. Like I said before, we couldn't go out and do stuff. So we just, on the spur of the moment, decided to do a movie in our backyard. Yeah. And it developed into, now I think 120 movies later, it's a Friday night summer movie thing that, really, it's by donation. If anybody wants to donate, they can. But my wife makes treats that are themed. It's amazing.
Totally awesome.
But again, she's the brains behind all of it.
Yeah, you make a good fire, though.
I do. That's true. And I make a fire, and I announce at both the cornhole and the chili cook-off. But that's about it. She does all the work, the sponsorships, everything. She's busy, and so but it's not for us. And I think that's been one of the most rewarding parts about it, is that we've gone from an organization, not even an organization, just a husband and wife who got donations from friends of the family, to now a nonprofit with a board that we get people who are like, hey, we could use this. Our kid was son or daughter with Sanfilippo has this issue. We could really use some help, and we can be like, yep, let's do it. And so we can help.
Love it.
We can take that support that we got, and we can still get it. I mean, not gonna lie, we go to the chili cook-off and we go to the cornhole and all that stuff. We're still getting a lot of friends of ours and family and people from the community that we're in, which has been super great. Yeah. But we're able to take that and help people in Florida, in Tennessee, Carolinas, and it's just all over. And it's been such a huge. It's been great. It's been awesome to see, and then to hear how you get letters back and thank yous and this kind of stuff, and you don't do it for that, but it's still kind of nice to see it. So
no, I love it. When we were at the cornhole this year, that was our first one. But I love that when you walk around, you had your yard signs you guys printed off with the different kids and the impact you had on their life and journey. I was like, oh my gosh, and there was a lot of signs. It wasn't like two. It's like rows of signs.
That was again, this is gonna surprise you. That wasn't my idea, but it's been awesome because again, even there, like even with friends of our family that'll go to those events, are like, oh, I never realized that this money doesn't go to you. It's like we
Yeah.
have to. It's actually like I don't know how to explain this to people. It's actually harder for us to get money from the organization because we're the part of the organization. So
Right.
it's been really, honestly, it's been one of the most fulfilling things that we do. And
Oh,
I say
man.
that Tina does.
It's incredible. Is there a website people can go to?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's Team Jared, Team Caleb .org, and it's
Okay.
Jared with JAROD.
Okay.
So Team Jared, Team Caleb.org. It's it ends up coming up as like Sanfilippo Hope Initiative.org. So it's either one of those, but Team
Yeah.
Jared and Team Caleb is a lot easier to spell than Sanfilippo Hope Initiative. So,
Right. I'll make sure to have the link in the description of this on all the platforms so people can check it out.
It's awesome.
Man,
It's very fun.
I love that you guys do that. On top of everything you do, you still find a way to give back and give hope to so many families. It just is incredible.
That's actually the most fun.
Yeah.
Like, not more, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. You know that.
Yep. I definitely do. And I love it. Have you ever been able to play in the cornhole tournament?
Nope.
No. I was just wondering if like all those students that come, it'd give you so much joy to just be able to beat them all in cornhole. I'm sure they know that you would dominate them. But
I tell them that beforehand. It's pretty much a given. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Sorry, I can't beat you. I'm going to be busy. But
just assume that if we played, I would win. That's how it works.
Gosh.
But it's even that though. Like when we started off, and I hate to, I'll be quick, but when we started the cornhole off, I think this will be our 10th year doing it. You have great. I think you have 2 years off because of COVID.
Yeah.
When we were getting started with it, the kids we were getting in that would play were Jared's classmates.
Gotcha.
So we had a ton of kids come in that were Jared's classmates.
Yeah.
And that was awesome because I mean that was kind of why we did it, because get those kids back, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, then it was Caleb's classmates. And now kids at our school that we get a lot of, they don't know who my kids are. They're not their classmates anymore. But it's amazing because we're still getting, because of how much fun it was before.
Yeah.
Kids are still wanting to play. I have students who graduated 6, 7, 8 years ago who are like, hey, when's the cornhole tournament?
Whoa.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had celebrities there. We've had people, I say celebrities,
Shoot.
Local celebrities and all kinds of people.
That's so good. I just love that though. And then the costumes are always fun.
That's fun too. Yes. Yes. The kids and the creative names and the costumes.
Yeah. You guys do, man. You guys do so good.
Yep.
It's incredible. Well, Mark, like I said, I know your time is valuable. I really, truly appreciate you jumping on here and sharing some wisdom and encouragement and just being open and honest about your life. I mean, I really do think it's going to be so good for a lot of dads and a lot of people in general just to hear your journey and how you and Tina do so well with it. So thank you so much for being
appreciate the opportunity to come out. This has been good for me to come out, and I don't usually talk about this stuff, so it's been good to talk about it. So appreciate it.
Thanks again, Mark. We'll talk soon, my friend.
All right.
A great way to keep this podcast going is to support Certain Hope Community. You can do that by going to certainhopecommunity.org and clicking on the donate tab.